Tired of dealing with annoying flies, fruit flies, and gnats in your home? The Zevo Flying Insect Trap is your ultimate solution. Don't wait. Check out the link in the video description now to get your Zevo Flying Insect Trap on Amazon and enjoy a bug-free home today. I'm Just Ken is proof that a musical number can be so exceptional and well-crafted that it can create an entire discussion separate from its movie. As one of the standout moments from Barbie, I'm Just Ken acts as a hilarious, self-reflective ballad from Ryan Gosling's Ken, as he sings away his struggles and hardships about not being appreciated enough by Barbie. As if the song itself wasn't hilarious enough, the addition of high-effort choreography and dance sequences only further added to the comedy and memorability of the musical number. I'm Just Ken features just about everything one would want from a comedy musical number, including high production value, hilarious originality, self-awareness of the lyrics, and great commitment to the inherent comedy. It explains why the song became such a massive hit, and while it may not have won the Academy Award for Best Original Song, it certainly made for one of the most memorable original musical numbers in recent memory. Seen by many as the quintessential example of how to have a fun dance number in a non-musical film, the double-feature musical number at the end of Kai the 40-Year-Old Virgin acts as the perfect goodbye to the raunchy comedy. The musical number comes after Andy, Steve Carell, finally loses his virginity, with every character coming together in a high-imagination musical number, complete with colorful outfits and celebratory dance moves. The sequence's insight of being an imagination-driven expression of joy and excitement allows it to go all out in terms of comedic potential and expression, ignoring the rules of reality and making the best musical number possible. The usage of Aquarius, Let the Sunshine In, also feels like the perfect fit to encapsulate the joy and release of finally achieving sexual gratification in the context of the film, no matter how raunchy or obscene it may seem. While musical numbers in action films may seem to be a jarring clash of tones in standard Hollywood blockbusters, the usage of intricate dance numbers is much more common when it comes to Bollywood productions. While few Indian films have made the massive jump to worldwide acclaim and recognition, the strengths and grace of Very Simply couldn't be ignored by local audiences, thanks greatly in part to the near-perfect musical number, Nattu Nattu. The sequence takes place as a way for the lead characters to show off a hook step dance and outdance all the elite, high-class attendees of a party they go to. The flashy and electrifying sequence quickly became one of the most memorable and talked about aspects of the film, helping launch it into the global discussion as an example of just how exceptional Indian filmmaking can be. Nattu Nattu won the Oscar for Best Original Song, making history and becoming the first and only song from an Indian film to win the award. While its win is still relatively recent, it's already cemented a powerful legacy as one of the best wins that the award category has ever had. Many films have used the legendary discography of the Beatles to elevate the story and sequences, both as musical numbers and as effective needle drops, and no singular moment holds such a cultural impact as She of Ferris Bueller's Day Off. The sequence sees the titular Ferris Bueller, Matthew Broderick, as a part of the Chicago Parade, where he leads an impromptu dance performance of the iconic Beatles song, Twist and Shout. Such a simple and mild-mannered concept is transformed into a beautiful display of style, love, and overwhelming passion, a love letter to the city of Chicago. Although the song is only lip-synced by Broderick, it fits so in line with the character that it doesn't detract from the strength of the scene or the strength of the song. Combined with the usage of the song in Rodney Dangerfield's Back to School, the scene proved to be so effective that Twist and Shout found itself back on the Billboard Top 100 following the release of the film. Especially in the realm of comedy films, there are few ways to better end a film than to use a catchy, memorable tune to leave the audience in good spirits. When it comes to original songs that combine comedy and good vibes to see you into the credits, the quintessential example comes from the pinnacles of British comedy, Monty Python, in their second feature film, Life of Brian. The song takes place when Brian is at the end of his journey, being crucified and slowly meeting the end of his life. Yet, another man being crucified simply can't help but be optimistic, singing about how one always has to look on the bright side of life. All the black comedy and classic British humor present throughout Life of Brian is fully encapsulated within this singular musical number, bringing together the best attributes of the film for one final memorable gag. It certainly helps that the song itself is just as catchy as it is hilarious, with the array of whistles making it impossible not to join along in the song's ironic optimism for life and death. Few songs can bring about a cheery attitude even in the worst and most painful of situations, charming audiences for generations. Finding a great way to implement a musical number into the high-stakes climax of the film is hard. However, Back to the Future's use of Johnny Be Good has become one of the most iconic musical numbers in film history. The iconic moment comes right after Marty succeeds in getting his parents back together, and after having just performed a classic dance song, ends up playing the classic rock and roll song 3 years before it would be released as a single. On top of featuring all the excitement of victory, the song also features several great comedic moments, such as inspiring the real-life Chuck Berry and Marty going over the top with the guitar solo. Back to the Future is an iconic piece of 80s movie history with many memorable moments and standout sequences, so it speaks wonders to the strength of this musical number that it still stands out as a highlight of the film. It uses the song to its utmost abilities as a love letter, not just to the period, but to rock and roll as an art form, while also acting as a cathartic climax of the film. As the years go by and Back to the Future furthers its outstanding legacy, this standout sequence stands alongside it as the best use of a musical number in a movie that isn't a musical.